This is the book of James, chapter 4, verse 15. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth according to the Bible and rule well. Another Shalom, all the sincere argument throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth through diligence and sincerity and charity. And another Shalom, all the sincere followers, believers of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, not just hearers of the word, but doers as well, you men, women, and children, hopefully elect Shalom. And came across this article on CNN. It says a Buffalo woman went out on Christmas Eve telling her daughter she'd be right back. They found her body a few hundred feet from home. And, us in this truth, us in this walk, starting with the head apostles and elders, Great Millstone on down, that's one thing that has been taught to us is Lord's will, and that's scriptural, as I just brought out in the book of James, the 4th chapter. All right? We always say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. That's the ways of the world. That's something of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. That builds pride. All right? We don't know what we're going to do the next moment, the next day, the next second. We don't know if we're coming back. We don't know if we're going to be able to do this or do that. That's why it's always Lord's will. And that's why it's hard to have conversations with people in the world, all right, that don't understand this truth. All right? And I'm not quite sure on the title's lesson, but just going to be somewhere on the lines of, no free will, just to always say Lord's will, we say amongst the brotherhood, but, the world's not going to get it. The world's not going to get it. But it says, Casey Macaron's mother was always a kind of superwoman, right? It says, but even so, when Monique Alexander decided to go out on Christmas Eve, Macaron worried. It says it would have been a simple decision another day, but a blizzard was setting in, one that would leave some areas of western New York under more than 50 inches of snow. Get this out of here. So, let's see what else it says. It says, Macaron was feeling anxious already watching his notifications about closures of stores on Facebook. She told CNN, it says, but her mother wanted to go out, and Alexander, 52, said she'd be right back and left out without mentioning. And she was headed. Macaron, who lived with Alexander since August, said she just assumed her mom was trying to get to the stores before they closed. Alexander never made it back. Her body was discovered only a few hundred feet from the house. I'm assuming this is the mother. Got them eyelashes going on, but whatever. It says, we were waiting for her to come home. I knew something was wrong right away, so I kind of accepted it instantly, but it's hard knowing that she was outside for so long, too, because there was no emergency responders allowed to come outside. Macaron said, speaking outside her family home on Wednesday. And this is the judgment of the Lord. This is just something for us to be mindful of, not to say we're going to do this or we're going to do that. It's just, it's always Lord's will. Back in James 4, and I started 13, it says, go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow, we will go into such a city and continue there a year, and buy and sell and get gain. Verse 14, whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then vanisheth away. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord's willing, we shall live and do this or do that. Yeah, because that's what's taught here, to say what you're going to do 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, when you don't know when your soul's required from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man. That's why we got to continue to seek the Lord, walk humbly, because you just never know when your car is going to be called, man. Because our life is what? As the scripture says, as a vapor. Okay? It's only here for a moment of time. So don't say what you're going to do the next day. It's just Lord's will. And that's why communication should really be with those who are like-minded, as the scripture says. Can two walk together lest they agree? All right? You say, oh, well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's like, what? The us and this no and it's true. We say Lord's will. Well, if you say, you got to be wise. You got to be wise at the same time, understanding. You try to say that in the world, people look at you like you're crazy. What do you mean, Lord's will? They're going to look at you like you got 10 heads. Let's grab maybe one more and wrap it on up. I didn't want this to be a long lesson. It doesn't need to be. I feel like that those scriptures pretty much answered everything. But let's see if we can grab one more. Let's see. Start at 14. Bring these few precepts. Whole chapter is bad. This is Job 33 and 14 says, for Yahweh speaketh once. Yahweh is who the world ignorantly and willingly calls God. That's his name in ancient Hebrew, Lashawan Kodash. He is, he exists, he to be, I am, Yahweh. All right. It says, for Yahweh speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth not. And a dream and a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and the slumberings upon the bed. Then he opened up the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from man. And, that's the thing. When we're asleep at night, the Lord sealeth our instructions for the next day. So the Lord sealed the instructions for that woman to go out at that particular time and not come back home, because he required her soul to come back to the spiritual world. All right? When you drooling and snoring, all right, the Lord is sealing your instructions for the next day. To take away what? Pride. Okay? To withdraw man from his purpose. And it happens all the time, but, people just don't realize it. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do this. I forgot to do that. Why is that? Because it wasn't in the cards of the Lord. It wasn't in the cards of the Lord. And, the water Yahweh shot for this truth, man. Understanding his will, his way. Let's grab one last one and wrap it on up. Proverbs 20 and 24. It says, man's goings, and this is man, woman, and child. This is everyone. Because some people like it simple. It says man. It says man. It says man, not the woman. No, the man, woman, and the child, man. Let's not be simple here. It says Proverbs 20 and 24, man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? You see? So your steps are guided by Yahweh Shemel Shai. Once again, who the world ignorantly and willingly called God in Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shai means he delivers, he saves his people. That's what the world ignorantly and willingly called Jesus. All right? That's his name in ancient Hebrew, because the Lord was a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah, which will be a so-called black man. All right? Once again, Proverbs 20 and 24, man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? So we are all on the strings, like puppet strings of Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. So like this mother said she was going to come back. I'll be right back. She didn't understand the scriptures. A Buffalo woman went out on Christmas Eve telling her daughter she'd be right back. They found her body a few hundred feet from home. That wasn't a prudent idea to go out to do what she had to do. But her ways were ordained by the Lord to take that steps, to leave the house. All right? And that's something that we got to understand. All right. So I think that's pretty much it. I think the point's been made. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Read this one last time, close out. James 4:15 says, "For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that." Shalom.